Hi, this is my video, and my name is pronounced Lara Christine Jackson. Lara like Lara from Dr. Zhivago, or Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. A lot of people pronounce it Laura, and I don't really notice anymore, but you asked for pronunciation, so there it is. We are in Harper's room because I wanted to show where we are on the map. We're in St. Petersburg, Florida. Looks like the power's going out. That's not good. Sorry, we're in the middle of a lightning storm. This is the lightning capital here in Tampa Bay. So if you notice this little tiny peninsula upon a peninsula, that's St. Petersburg. We are surrounded by water on three sides. We have beaches. Harper says hi. We have beaches within less than 20 minutes of us, no matter where in the city we are. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what other questions we have here. Oh, I grew up in St. Petersburg. I was born here, just down the road. Lived in the same house for 20 years. Yeah. You want to come here? You come say hi?
Okay.
Okay. Oh! Say hi. Say hi. Are you being camera shy now? Okay, well that's fine. You gonna go check on your sister?
No.
No? Oh, okay. So, yes, lived in St. Petersburg my entire life. I've never wanted to live anywhere else. And, what other questions do we have? Sorry, I'm a little distracted at the moment. We have... Oh, pronunciation. Okay, we can do that. Bagel, water, car, bottle, cot and cot, Mary, Mary and Mary, caramel, roof, creek, crayon, or as Harper says, colors, and pajamas. After that we have, Harper, please go check on Autumn. Please?
No.
Fine. When I'm addressing a group of people, I'll say, hey everybody, or may I have your attention please? I don't know. Just how I go. And soda. A traffic situation in which several roads... Oh really? Traffic circle or a roundabout. Take a picture? No, I'm not taking a picture, I'm taking a video. And to go running, I put on my sneakers, which I just got a new pair, first pair in over a decade I'm really excited about. That helps when your godfather works for Sports Authority and can get you a discount. She's spinning. You can't see it, but she's spinning. Any special names for things where you live? Well, one is a Cuban. I believe you call it a grinder or a hero or maybe just a sub, but a Cuban is a specific kind of sandwich that contains ham, roasted pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard, and sometimes salami. And we like it on Cuban bread. I say we as the collective we because I don't eat meat, but I do dabble in fish occasionally. So that's more of the getting to know you aspect. Snowbird is another term that you'll find in Florida a lot because snowbirds live here about 6 months of the year. And then they fly home, and that's fine. But when they're here, they love to complain about how hot it is, or tell us how much better it is where their other house is, and complain about how things have changed since the last time they were here. And it gets a bit crazy. Doesn't it, Harper? Yeah! Let's go check on Autumn. Okay, so where were we? Regional foods. Of course, everybody knows about fresh squeezed Florida orange juice. It really is incredibly sweet. I highly recommend Florida Navel oranges if you come down and visit. We also have a really great winery in St. Petersburg. It's over by the beach, and they make orange wine. And it is surprisingly good. Where are you going? She's 7 months. She thinks she can do whatever she wants now. Isn't that right, Harper? Yeah, Autumn thinks she can rule the world now. Or at least do everything you can do. Let's see. Of course, besides the orange juice, we have key lime pie, which I meant to bring a slice out for you.
Eat?
I'm gonna eat. because we do have some key lime pie in the fridge, like good Floridians. But yeah, it's about to rain, and I don't want to lose the light, so. If you hit the table, she's going to hit the table. That's not a good thing to teach her. Let's not do that, please. Grouper sandwich. If you happen to come down Clearwater, St. Pete area, and you head out to Sunset Beach, and you order a grouper sandwich from any of the fine establishments there, it will rock your world.
Is it gross you?
Is what gross you?
Is it gross you, Pooh? You like you, Pooh, Mommy?
I don't know what you're talking about. Also, Plant City, which is just up the road from us, about 30 minutes away, has the best strawberries, and every February and March they have a famous strawberry festival where you can go and get anything from strawberry shortcake, strawberry smoothies, you name it, they've got it.
Hey, took on Mommy's phone.
Oh, thank you. And that is why I love my LifeProof case, because that happens way more often than it should. Uh-huh. Well, I'm glad you're amused. Okay, what else was I going to say? Now I don't remember the rest of the question. Let's find it. Let's see. Mojitos, of course, if you, especially in the Miami area, but even in Tampa Bay, they're pretty darn good. Fresh mojitos with fresh lime and fresh mint. Super tasty, very refreshing. Harper. No, that's not funny. Alright, if I got you to come here and we were going on a tour and we'll say, I don't want to say if money was no question, but we'll say that if we were splurging, we would start off the morning fairly simple, probably pick up some bagels or some donuts or some pastries at either St. Pete Bagel or Mozart's Bakery, which are both walking distance from my house, and they have some of the best and most unique items. Mozart's Bakery is a true German bakery run by folks who have been around since before I was born. Same location. Best fresh baked chocolate croissants ever, along with a whole big variety of other items. St. Pete Bagel Company is kind of like Voodoo Donuts in Portland. They have some really unusual combinations, including lots of bacon-infused items. But they're fresh-baked donuts. They make everybody around here kind of ignore the Dunkin' Donuts because it just can't compare. And it's cheap too. It's a good price. Good deal. After that, we would probably head downtown, go for a walk on the beach, again, 15 minutes away, and go see the Dali Museum. The Dali Museum is the largest collection of Dali's works outside of Europe, and I was a docent there when I was a kid. I was a soapbox docent for the painting titled Galaxy Desoxyribonucleic Acid, because I was the only one in my class that could pronounce it in second grade. Harper, that's not funny. After that, we would probably head up the Museum of Fine Arts, followed by the Chihuly. We are the only folks who have our own Chihuly museum. Lots of people have Chihuly on display, like in casinos or on cruise ships or vacation resorts. We are the only ones to have our very own Chihuly Museum, of which we are very proud, because he came here to do a show at Museum of Fine Arts and he loved it so much he said he wanted to make it a home for himself. So that's pretty cool. If you're not familiar with Chihuly, he does beautiful blown glass work that is just like something out of a dream. It's strawberry lemonade, not booze. Just in case you're wondering. So, what would we do after that? I had an itinerary. I wrote it out because I'm typing. Oh yeah. So then we could hit up Sundial, which is also downtown. They have yoga hosted by Lululemon in the mornings, usually on Saturdays. And they have some really nice shopping. Then we would do lunch, and we would go to the hangar, which is part of the St. Pete airport. And it's really nice because not only does it have all this beautiful vintage airline ephemera all over the walls, like old propellers and everything, and then a lot of the food is aviation themed, but it also is literally right on the runway, so you can watch the planes taking off while you're having your lunch. They even have a beautiful balcony if you don't mind the heat. You can sit outside, sip your mojito, watch the planes take off, and they have a lot of those smaller planes too that are really fun to see. Harper loves it, don't you? You love it when the planes take off and you get to see them fly? Mm-hmm. Let's see, if we had any room after that, we would probably stop by Pachugo because they have the best gelato in town. After that, we could, let's see, by that time it would probably be later in the afternoon, and we'd be okay to get in the car and do a little drive across the bridge. You want to get down so you can play?
Okay.
Okay. We would probably drive across the bridge to Tampa. It's about 30 minutes away to get to Busch Gardens or Adventure Island. Pretty sure you guys are at least slightly familiar with the places, but Busch Gardens has a ton of wildlife that instead of being in cages, they're in these giant free-range type grassy areas, and they basically just use like a ravine to keep us from getting eaten alive. And then the non-meat eaters are just kind of out in the field, and you can drive up in your little safari vehicle and check them out. So it's the closest thing to going to Africa that we have. And then they also have an array of incredible roller coasters. So if you're a roller coaster fan, Busch Gardens is definitely a big hit. And Adventure Island, owned by the same people, is just down the street. And they are water slides, tons and tons of water slides, more than you could possibly imagine. And it's a great way to cool off in the summer. We use season passes because of that. And after we were done at Busch Gardens or Adventure Island, which it's fun when you have a pass to go later in the afternoon because then the crowds start to die down as people get tired and go back to their hotels, we could go get some supper. And if we're on a budget, we would go to Datz Deli, that's D-A-T-Z. And I highly recommend you check out the website, pull up the menu, and look at some of the items because they are famous for foodies in Tampa as having some really incredible options. If we were not on a budget and we were spending whatever we pleased, we would go to Burns Steakhouse, and that's B-E-R-N-S. And I also recommend that you check out Burns. Don't get it confused with Sideburns, which is next door, which is its less expensive option. It's still very chic, but it's definitely geared towards the younger, more urban set, whereas Burns has been around since before I was born. My grandfather was friends with Byrne himself, and when the man passed, we were all very sad. But they've managed to uphold the policies where they grow most of their own food organically. They have their own cows hand-picked that they keep on their own farm. Some of their herbs that they use are grown right there in their kitchen, so there is ridiculous quality control. If somebody wants to work there, they have to apprentice unpaid for years, doing the from the inside out. They have a huge wine cellar that has, I think, some of the most expensive bottles in the world. So it's definitely kind of a gem to check out. They can't see you spinning from down there, sweetie. I don't think. Pretty sure they can't. But you go right ahead and dance. You dance like nobody's watching. Now I've embarrassed her. And then we would top it off with a visit to the Burns dessert room, which you have to make a separate reservation for, but it's well worth it. And let's see what other questions we have here. I'm pretty sure you've heard quite a bit of my mom voice by now. Yes, Harper. Yes, I'm talking about the way that I speak to you. Just a little bit more musical. Sometimes I have to repeat myself. More often than not. You are silly. You are very, very silly. Let's see. What other questions do we have? My favorite thing about where I live is that the beach is less than 20 minutes away, so we can go there any day we feel like it, assuming it's not raining. Like I said, lightning capital of the world. In the summer it rains pretty much every day, not for very long, maybe 20 minutes or so, but if you're out while it's happening and you're not prepared, which Floridians are prepared, tourists not always prepared. So if you come to Florida, bring a poncho or an umbrella just in case, and you'll be fine. And wait 20 minutes, then it'll be over. Isn't that right on? Yeah. Mary's sister playing. Apparently she wants to go play. Okay, so where were we? Let's see here. If I could visit one place in the US, where would it be? I have to say New York City. I've been there twice so far in my life, which is saying something because I don't get to travel very often. But each time both times were completely opposite of each other, but they were both extremely fun and definitely, I'd say, life-defining. Not necessarily life-changing, but life-defining. Because I feel like everything that I am and everything that I want to be just came into such sharp focus both of the times that I was there. So while I would have a hard time living there because everything is so expensive, I just absolutely loved the time that I spent there, and I'm hoping I get to go back again soon. If I were to pick one TV show, Mom, that most represented your mom style, who would it be? This is funny to me because I saw this question posted yesterday, and my immediate thought was, oh, that's easy, Lorelai Gilmore. And then today we had that post on the patch about, have you guys seen Gilmore Girls? Because I am a huge fan of Gilmore Girls. My mom and I used to sit and watch it every week, and we would order sushi, and we would sit there and we would put so much wasabi on the sushi that we would just be bawling, tears streaming down our faces, mostly from the wasabi, but a little bit from Gilmore Girls because it's a pretty sentimental show, and at the time it was just my mom and I. My dad was long gone, my brother had moved out. It was just the two of us hanging out and trying to, cling to each other for dear life. And we still kind of do, but she's got a lot of other stuff going on now, so... And I've got my husband and my babies at this point. But Gilmore Girls still has a very, very big place in my heart, and I've always thought of myself as kind of a Lorelai when it comes to parenting. Obviously look out for your kid, but also let them be their own person, whoever that person happens to be. And it works out because I've got a girl. Well, I've got two girls now. What celebrity's wardrobe would you like to steal? This is a tough one for me because I honestly don't pay that much attention to what celebrities are wearing. I don't mean that to sound as ostentatious as it probably sounds, but I don't really, I don't have TV, I have Netflix, and I don't work outside the home. I do work from home for Home Shopping Network, so the only access I would get would be if I went to websites like InStyle or whatever on my computer, or maybe if I was looking at Vogue, which I do subscribe to Vogue, maybe I would see what they're wearing there, but I just don't pay that much attention to what celebrity it is. I just pay attention to, oh, I wonder how that would look on me. But I did a little research last night after I saw the post, and I think Blake Lively, who is from Gossip Girl, and probably Lauren Conrad, seems to have a lot of cute stuff that I would wear. I like Anthropologie, I like J. Crew, I like Free People, a little bit Urban Outfitters, but a lot of it's too college for me. And I like Madewell, it's really fun stuff. So, and Gap, of course, I'm wearing Gap head to toe, it's ridiculous, but, it's kind of the mom wardrobe these days. A shirt I can nurse in, and shorts because it's hot, but I try to pick something, at least something in my wardrobe that has a little bit of interest or a little bit of color, like these shorts have the tie-dye indigo, so that's kind of fun. Are you coming inside? Mm-mm. Just checking in? Oh, okay.
You guys getting some music, Mommy?
You're just getting some music? Okay. Oh, thank you for passing the ball to Autumn. I think it went a little too far. Thank you for handing it to her. That was very nice. Okay, where were we? If you had an afternoon all to yourself, sans children, what would you do? Okay, in an ideal universe where I was pampering myself, I would go out first thing in the morning. I would bring a book. I would go have a pedicure done, preferably at the Don Cesar, another local place I highly recommend. Right on the beach, gorgeous. It was the inspiration for The Great Gatsby for the house. He spent a lot of time there when he was writing, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It is a palace. They call it the Pink Palace for a reason. So I would go there, get a pedicure, have a mimosa, read my book, lay on the beach, just listen to the waves. It would be absolute bliss. That would be my ideal. In reality, if my husband took the kids or something and I had an afternoon to myself, I would probably do laundry, sew some new clothes, maybe for myself, maybe for the kids, maybe something. I'm always working on little projects for people, so maybe something for someone else. I'm working on an Aquaman costume for a friend right now, so that's fun. And I would eat something with 2 hands, because I don't get to do that very much these days. Autumn is finally at the point where she lets me set her down, and she can play on her own, so that's good. Doesn't always last, and the second that she sees I have food in my hand, she wants the food herself, and she's just getting started on solids, so I'm not usually eating something that she can eat, so that's a bit of a challenge. Really the biggest challenge. Harper, I want that toy to stay inside, okay? You can't bring that one outside, it might break. Okay? If it drops on the cement, it might break, so you can play with it in here.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want it?
Okay. She has a harp, because her name is Harper. I got that for her the last time I was in New York, when I was pregnant with Autumn, 7 months, and we were at FAO Schwartz, the big one with the big piano, and I found a cute pajama onesie for Autumn and a Hape Toys harp for Harper. So I brought them home as souvenirs. And it's really cute to see her trying to play it for Autumn right now. So yes, big challenges. I tandem nurse, and I love it. And I love that I know that Harper's getting her nutrition, even though she's a picky eater, and even though sometimes she won't eat what I put aside for her. So as long as she's getting her milk, I know she's getting what she essentially needs. However, right now we're dealing with a frustration that when it's time for her to stop nursing that second and we're going to go do something else, I'm telling her, okay, we're all done, okay, let's go do something else, and she's latching on like an attack dog and will not let go. And even if I hold her nose shut, even if I push her cheeks together, even if I try and get my finger in there to kind of break the seal, she just clamps down with her teeth, and it is just vicious and painful. So that's something that we're struggling with right now. Other than that, she's getting started with her big girl bed. She has slept in it for several weeks now, but we have a struggle where Matt will take her for a walk in the ergo, and she'll fall asleep on the walk, and he'll come home and put her to bed, and she'll stay asleep. And then sometime in the night she'll wake up and come out and look for me, and usually she'll have milk, and I'll tell her after milk she has to go back to sleep, and I'll take her back to her bed and lay her down, and she'll cry and freak out, and I just leave the room. I hold the door closed for about 2 minutes, and she might come and try the doorknob a couple times and say, "No, Mommy, come back and play," but after she gets the hint, she'll then scamper back to bed on her own, and she'll climb into bed and usually say something ridiculously adorable like, "Okay, I go sleep now. Mommy, come back in the morning. I get milk."
Okay.
It's really cute. But some nights she does not go back to bed. Some nights she just screams and screams, and sometimes I give in and she comes back to bed with us. And so that's kind of a struggle too. Were there any other questions that I haven't answered yet? I don't remember. Favorite memory would have to be, this is going to sound terrible because it sounds like she's my favorite kid or something, but really it's just when Autumn was born, because with Harper it was an emergency C-section due to decreased heart rate, and everything was happening so fast. My OB didn't answer her phone. They had used the doctor on call who had no interest in my birth plan, no interest in all natural, no interest in me, and I just felt so bullied, and I panicked, and the baby panicked, and so next thing I know, they're knocking me unconscious with the gas, and I'm all alone, and I wake up alone, and I don't have my baby, and I don't know if she's alive or anything, and I didn't even get to see Harper until ages and ages later when a nurse finally walked by. And so that was a really scary birth for me. So when Autumn came along, and I had done so much preparation for my VBAC, and I found a supportive doctor, and I called her right away, and I made sure that she was at the hospital. She was already there for somebody else, so I ended up kind of stealing her from the other patient she was with, which I felt terrible about, but I really needed her. I was able to birth Autumn the way that I wanted to. I was able to do a natural birth, and, you know, med-free, and natural, I mean med-free, and I pushed, and she was out, and the second she was out, it's like in one fell swoop, my doctor lifted her into my arms, onto my stomach and my chest, and I was holding her. The second she entered the world, I was holding her, and, you know, less than a minute later, she was latching on for the first time, and it was just such a miracle to me to be able to have that experience that I wanted so much that it was killing me, and to be able to finally release a lot of those negative feelings that had been holding me down before, and just everything since then feels like it's been a lot easier parenting-wise. So I have to say that's my big moment, you know. I mean, it's really cute and everything when Harper says, Harper, I love you. Oh, really? Well, that's not what I was expecting. I love you. Apparently she's a kitty now and she's not going to say I love you. So that's super cute too. But my biggest moment is when Autumn was born, and I got to hold her in my arms right away, and I got to have that release of the serotonin or whatever, and just that rush of adrenaline, and I just felt so whole for the first time. Like everything in the universe was right. So I think that's all the questions. This is the bookcase that Matt built me that I'm very, very proud of, and I'll show you a little trick. I don't think you can see the record shelves from that angle, but you can at least see the lights up here. There are also record shelves down here, which will have cupboard doors on them, but in the meantime, they are doorless, and the idea is when you open the doors, you can have the lights on to make sure you can see all the records. My record player is going to go on the center console there. Again, I don't know if you can see it or not. But I love these lights because at night with all the other lights off, it's the only illumination in the room, and it just showcases all of my book collection that I love so much. What, Harper? What's up? Oh, are you being shy? Is that why you're speaking in gibberish all of a sudden? Okay then. Alright, I'll say goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye.